Hello everybody, welcome to the video of day 32. I hope that I look clear today because I pulled out all the stops for you guys today. Your boy pulled out all the stops. I got the tie on. I think I showed it to you a few videos ago. I got the pair of navy blue slacks and some beautiful Air Force Ones. So today I wanted to talk to you about an interesting story, I guess, that once happened to me. This story, it's a true story, but then I'm going to attempt to fictionalize it a little bit because I gotta protect the persons that were involved in the story, and I don't want to give too much details away so that, like, in case they watch it one day and they go, oh, you put me on blast and stuff. I woke up today and I felt I wanted to feel a little bit more professional. So I took my PC laptop and I went to a coffee shop that's in the lobby of a hotel, like a very fancy hotel. And I sat there, I started working. And I don't know what it is about that environment, but today I got so much stuff done. I felt like I was in gear. I felt like there was so much stuff that I did that I don't think I would have managed to do if I was in a different environment. So I guess maybe the lesson is, if you want to improve your work output, you can also try to improve your work environments, and work in a place that can make you feel as professional as possible. That could change the nature in which you conduct the business. That's something which, when I look back to the story that I'm about to tell you guys, that it makes sense. It makes so much sense because, so let me introduce the story. There was a guy that I met, I think that was in maybe 2023. I hope it's 2020. Yeah, mid 2023. Very interesting fellow. He was he's a former politician. He was in parliament before, and he had ran for office several times and, like, successfully won it. And what happened with this guy is I met him on LinkedIn. He DM'd me. He was interested in me helping him work on a certain project for an NGO that he was interested in starting. That didn't, like, pan out really well for me and my reputation, because he convinced me that, like, oh, this was a legit thing that we're working on. We're gonna get some funding, and after that we're gonna get a website, and I need you to hire some developers and all that stuff. So I got the devs together and just and just started organizing everybody. I was writing blogs for the new website, all of this stuff. I started doing it, and every time we would have meetings, I'd show up and all that stuff. But then it never materialized because the funding never came through, and I only found out a few months after that like, oh, he actually didn't have the funding at hand when he started. He was looking to apply for funding, but then he didn't put that out to me. So, like, when I was now looking for people who would be working with us, I was looking for them with the idea, or with the impression that you're gonna hit the ground running, you're gonna start working like tomorrow. But then the interesting thing about this fellow is that every time that I never met him at any other place besides the lobby of a hotel. So I don't know if you've been to like nice hotels, but there's something just about being in that environment, like in the lobby of it. You know, it's like so fancy and it's so clean and professional. It smells nice, and and he gets you a coffee. You feel comfortable and you feel like you're part of something, which is, especially if you're new to that type of environment, like I was at the time. You feel like, wow, like I'm really out in the world and, like, doing stuff, that's valuable and all that. But so that's like something which got triggered in my mind when today I was working at that hotel lobby. That was like, oh, it's the environment. Changing your environment really makes, like, things seem a touch bit professional, even though they may not be, right? And what I learned from Striker, that's what I'm calling him. What I learned from Striker was that the appearance of things at times is more important than the reality of things, right? Because of course, like, he was a politician. That's how he got ahead in his life, and he understood that really, really well. Because this other time we took a trip, it was like almost like a business trip. He wanted to introduce me to someone else who I eventually ended up doing business with after Striker screwed us both, but that's a story for another day. So this fellow, he showed me like where he came from, like where his home was, like where he went to school when he was a kid. And then I because at the time he has multiple degrees from international universities, from South Africa, from UK, from USA, I also think. I'm not sure about that last part, but then he has accomplished so much, and you will look at where he comes from, you're like, how did he manage to pull this off? It's amazing. It's like he did end up like screwing me, I believe, but then still he managed like to do so much in his life. And there was no project, like when he was talking about projects that we could like work on, you could tell that he genuinely believed that there was no project that was way too much or way too big. He had audacity. I've talked about audacity before, and that's something that I also realized about him, that he had so much audacity to believe, because sometimes sometimes you need audacity to believe that you can pull off something, and he had a lot of it. And he was able, and he's able to manipulate situations, and he is able to manipulate reality into what he wants you to see it as. That it's almost like a gift. And it made me realize that I need to be able to also do that, not to like misrepresent things and to like flat out lie sometimes, but to be able to paint and sell things in the best light possible, so that you can convince people to help you and work with you and all that stuff. That's what I learned from Striker, you know. But then because I was still very touchy about the subject of this guy for a while after he screwed me and all that stuff. But then as time goes by, you start to kind of let go of the emotional attachment to a situation or a story. It goes away, and you're only left to contend with the facts that actually happened and took place. And there is so much that I learned from him. There's so much that he gave me, and even though I did not benefit like monetarily from anything that I worked with him on, here I got introduced to someone through him. I learned about a lot of just so much, man. I just learned so much from him. But then the main thing that I took from him was that environments in which you conduct your business are more important than the business that you're conducting. So you should be able to pick them out properly. And I learned it today when I was working in that coffee shop, and I think that I'm gonna apply that more and more. Just finding better places to work at, just so that I can feel and be a lot more professional. So anyways, got a bunch of shit to do today. The work day still isn't over. And if you're watching this, thank you very much. Let's get it. Day 42.